Greetings and welcome to ruralvacantland.com. This is Luke Smith, and I'd like to show you a property I've got up for sale on the website that is the cheapest land in Bernalillo County. This is like near Albuquerque, New Mexico. And it's almost 5 acres, 4.85 acres, and I've been asking $2,499. I'm thinking of lowering the price because nobody's bought it. I'm thinking $1,999. So like just under $2,000. I'll fix that right after I make this video. So we've got online checkout. You can just click to buy it. I'll update the prices there. There's GPS coordinates on here. You can click on it to see where the property is. The taxes have been about $30 a year. There's the land that's in this area scares some people away because it's part of I know I'm not going to say it right, but Chile land grant. And back in the day, the land grant said you can't transfer this land to anybody besides family or people that are in the land grant. So some developers bought up some of this land because, theoretically you can't trade it, so it was really cheap. So they bought up a bunch of the land, and then they wanted to go build houses and sell the houses and everything. And the locals got mad and took them to court. They probably hired the fanciest lawyers around, and they won. The developers won. They took them to, through a couple of courts and eventually to the Supreme Court of New Mexico. And the Supreme Court said, basically, this is America. You can't restrict who you can sell your assets to. We charge taxes on these assets. These are real assets that anybody can own. So you can buy them, sell them, trade them as you like. But the title companies, you can read all about that on the internet. You can read through the case and the actual legal wording of what they said. This is my description of it. I'm not going to be so precise, but give you the idea. So if you buy the land in the Chile land grant, that precedence has been set that you can trade this, buy and sell to whoever you like, even though the old Mexican or Spanish or whatever land grant says otherwise. So the title companies, if you do a title company and you run it through a title company, they don't like to trade this stuff with title insurance because of those old stipulations. They don't want to write insurance on anything that might ever be a problem. They're very, very conservative, and they just don't. I mean, maybe some that do, but just basically they don't want to. So without title insurance, you go to the bank and try to get construction finance or something for the property, and they say, no title insurance, no finance. So you basically get shut out of the banks on a property like this. So you still get really cheap land. Not everybody and their brother's willing to come over and do it with cash. Pay cash for the property, pay cash to build your place, build whatever you want. It's cash and carry kind of stuff because of the way the title's set up on the property. So if you're still listening and you still care, this property is the cheapest in the area. And if you can get past all those things, let's get into it. There's GPS coordinates on here, and there's woods, and just looks like a nice area. Let's pull it up. So let's see if we can do Google. If you go to the map side of Google, Google's got the property lines. And this is the lot. It's got an easement in the north of the lot. It's got a couple lots like it next to it. And this goes out to the road, and it goes out to the other direction too. So if we zoom out, this trail goes out to the road over here. It goes to I think it's the 37. I forget the name of this road. Let's do this. Get the name of the road. 337. Goes out to 337, but if you follow this trail, it goes through these people's yard. It goes like between their barns and buildings and stuff. And they've got a gate on the road. It's right here. Leaving Chile land grant, or right on the border of the land grant. But these people here, it's part of the same family. that bought the land from, but I guess they don't get along. And they've got a gate, but I'm assuming it says no trespassing on the gate. It's blurred out in this picture. But that's the trail leading back to the property. And one shopper said he tried to go contact these people, and they got dogs, and he couldn't get past the gate. And I think he put a letter in a mailbox, got no response. So this access basically gets shut off. I mean, maybe you could figure it out, or maybe you know the people or something. But generally it kills that route, even though it seems to be a papered up easement. So it goes back to the property here. Let me straighten it out. Yeah, the second one here. And then, so you got the trails at the north, and then the trails lead out to the east, and they lead back. I mean, there's like a wash, a canyon. They even named it canyon something. Like the water flows to the north, so it might not be so easy to cross year round to the north to these other trails in the north. But these trails stay on the south side of that canyon, and they weave through a lot of these woods in multiple different routes. I mean, there's different routes leading through. Maybe some of these routes work. They go out to these roads over here. I was looking at some of them, like if we zoom in over here, see Google doesn't have Street View over here on these roads, but notice Bing does, Microsoft's thing. So I got the GPS coordinates. What I did is I just copied the GPS coordinates from my website, and I put them into Bing. You just paste them in there and search, and it brings it up. And in Bing, it's got the trail, that goes to the north of the property. How do we get to the let's see. So it's got the trail going through the north of the property that goes out through these people's area to the road that they've got blocked off. And it's got the trail going east as well. And if you follow it out there, it kind of stops in there, but the trails keep going. I mean, you can see them going through. And if we go over here, you can see where a couple of them come out, I believe. Yeah, let's try this. I think they had Street View on this one. No, it's not showing up over here. I thought I'd seen Street View on it before, but there's numerous trails. There's trails in a lot of these areas. I think one of the trails down here seems to lead up. So there seems to be a trail shooting up this way. Off of Jesse James. I could have swore they had Street View in here before. I'm not doing something right. Bing used to have Street View in there, but it went off of Jesse James. I mean, there's this trail that runs up into the woods. Goes round and round. I'm gonna get lost following this. It goes this way, also goes this way. We're trying to get to this one, right? So this one kind of comes off in here somewhere. Maybe it goes this way and this way. I mean, it goes in multiple directions, but you can kind of see it coming through here. Where are we headed? We're headed over here. So I think it's kind of coming up this hill and circling around. There's still a trail in here. You gotta go there underground to figure this out. It looks like it's still, I mean, it's not like a super hardcore cut trail, but it looks like it's in there. And kind of looks like it's here instead of up there, coming like that. But there's a couple routes. So if we go back to that turnoff down here, I mean, it could go this way too. These are other people's properties. I mean, maybe they run you off and they don't want you driving back here. I'm not sure. You gotta go talk to the neighbors, check it out. It looks like this trail runs through here along that break. I'm assuming it drops down to that trail one way or another. Keeps coming through. It comes from up here as well. There's higher routes and lower routes. Two different routes. You know, back down to the property. So if you can follow that, I mean, go do your own research and look at those trails and see if any of these turnoffs work. Of where was it? Off this Jesse James Road. So there's the turnoff right across from that house. It looks like you can go up the Pat Garnett Road and there's a turnoff there to get back to it. If you go up Pat Garnett Road, it looks like there's a trail up here that leads over. It looks like there's a trail behind these people's place that goes up and over to that as well. And maybe a trail behind these people's place that goes up to, I think it goes up to a house over here. Yeah, there's numerous trails headed back into these woods, and that I think you could get to this property from without crossing through these people's their lock gate. And if you can figure it out, I mean, this is really cheap land. I was going to change the price to $1,999. If we go to Land Watch and we pull up Bernalillo County, New Mexico, and we look at price from low to high with any size property, there's like some rentals that come up first that you know they're doing per month, and the first thing that you can actually buy is this property, and that's when I'm asking $2,499. I'm going to change it to $1,999. It's the cheapest property in the county. I'll pay all the paper. I'll do the paperwork, pay the fees and stuff to transfer it into your name, and it's almost 5 acres. The next cheapest one is smaller than a quarter acre. That's office space rental. That's not even buying a piece of land. This is a lease. Okay, here's $2,500. Let's see what else you can get in the county for $2,500. Great. You get a map with a phone number. You can't even tell where that's at. To get people that can't make ads. So, let's see what this is. $2,500. There's no information. Like, how do you expect to sell that piece of property? This one might actually have some information. $3,000. At least they tell you the size of the property. I still don't understand how they can list properties like so little information. Here, this guy usually does good ads. Dave Clive, Deed Ventures, $4,500 for 5 acres. So there's a 5 acres. Mine's almost 5 acres. I'm gonna be less than half of him in the marketplace. He's actually got information, pictures, and location, and can actually tell you what he's selling. He's not just trying to get you to call and sign up to a real estate brokerage stuff, and they'll go find something for you, like a lot of those other ads seem to be. So, there's 5 acres for $4,500. That's your next bet. Calling that guy, but I can beat him by more than half with this one. It's got trees, and it's a good-looking 5 acres. If you can get there and figure it out, hopefully I got the right property for you. Well, I want to bring up some other maps. I got this other map, some property lines. It's this chunk here. This one's showing it kind of through almost the top of the property. I think it's papered up, so there's easement at the actual top of the property, but the trail seems to go through the top piece of it. and goes out to these people. So this is those people's land over here. And yeah, if you want neighbors' contact information and stuff, let me know. I can pull that up to you, so you can write them letters and try to get permissions and things. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Luke Smith, ruralvacantland.com. If you want to go for it, there's a checkout button. I'll update it to 1,999. Thanks. Bye.